Hello, I'm Juan Alberto in Medellin, and today I will present some data from Mexico. Well, the objective of this presentation is to carry out a comprehensive data analysis regarding the perception of the security in Mexico. This analysis will involve organizing, presenting, interpreting the results with the purpose of gaining a more precise understanding of the population opinion on the security. I use Minitab and data from INEGI for the year 2022. I will present some variables, and each variable will have 1,500 people from the 32 different states of the Mexican Republic. These variables are age, gender, socioeconomic, people worried about poverty, people worried about unemployment, state security, and corruption. First, we are gonna start with the variable age. So here is an histogram and some statistics. And in the statistic, we can see that 44.41 is the mean age. And there is a median age of 42 and a mode of 45. With this, we can infer that predominantly mature population were taken from this survey. Additionally, 25% of the responders are below the age of 30, and 75% of the responders are below the age of 57. With the histogram, we can observe that it becomes evident that the age of over 75 are the least frequent respondents, while those aged between 29 and 31 are the most frequent respondents in the group. Now, here is a blocks box and a cumulative relative frequency object. First, for the box plot age, we can see that there is a lot of variability in between the age 30 and 55, more or less. And there are three data that are extreme, represented by diamonds. These data may not be representative of the overall age distribution. Now, with the cumulative relative frequency object, we can see that 10% of the individuals in the dataset are younger than 22.5 years old, while 50% are older than 42 years old. The next variable is gender. Here is very easy to understand because the red part in the P chart are women and the blue part are men. So with this, we can see that 810 are female participants and 690 are male participants. This is equivalent of 54% are women and 46% are men in the dataset. So now with this histogram of the states of Mexico, we can see the persons that were taken to the survey of the different states. So we can discern that the state that stands out is Mexico City with the highest amount of data collected. This is nearly of 100 individuals. And in the state with the least amount of information collected is Zacatecas, with just over 20 individuals represented. So with this, we can observe that most of the information is from the country's capital, Mexico City. The next one is socioeconomic. So here we can see that the blue part is from low classes, the red part is from medium low classes, and the yellow is for medium high classes. And the green is for high classes. So here we can see that medium low socioeconomic levels are 54.4%. Then people with a low level is 18.5%. Then people with a medium high level is 20.2 level. And finally, people with a high level is only 7%. Now, here are two histograms about people worried about poverty and unemployment. So like it is observed in the socioeconomic chart, most of the persons of this survey were not in a very good socioeconomic level, but it appears that it does not affect to people being worried about poverty and employment. In these two histograms, it can be seen that people are not much worried about poverty, that is the number 0, and is equal to 1,103 persons that think is not an important issue. And 1,033 also are not worried about employment in this country. So this is something common in developing countries. The next one is the variability about people concerned about insecurity and people concerned perception in the state. The next one is state security. So in the P chart, the red part is people concerned about insecurity and blue is people not concerned about insecurity. And in the histogram is the security perception of the citizens in the state. So the number 1 is people that think the state is secure. Number 2, people that think is insecure, and 9 people that didn't know or didn't answer. So in Mexico, the insecurity has been increasing, like I said before, in the last decades, and people notice. That is why 57.7% is concerned about this issue. Also, 1,047 of the persons that were taken said that they perceive the country insecure, and 436 perceive the country is secure. That is more than the double of the people that think Mexico is insecure than secure. This is important because every day are more persons that think Mexico is getting more insecure, and some people want to leave the country. The next one is corruption. In the picture, we can see that in the blue part is people not concerned about corruption, and in the red part, people concerned about corruption. And that is important because in Mexico, there is a lot of corruption, but people do not see or do not concern. So that means that corruption will be still there. And in the histogram, we can see that the number 1 is people do not concern about police corruption. Number 2 is people concerned about police corruption. And the number 9 is people that didn't know what to answer. So we can see that 60 persons are not concerned about police corruption, and 285 persons are not concerned are concerned about this topic. And then 83 persons did not know what to answer. Then we are going to use the variable age and socioeconomic. So the number 1 will be for low class, the number 2 for medium low class, the number 3 for medium high class, and the number 4 for high class. The average age varies in the different socioeconomic classes. For the low class, the average age is 44.17 years old. In the medium low class is 43.55 years old. In the medium high class is 46.5 years old, and in the high class is 45.58 years old. The most common ages for each class were 30 years old for the low class, 36 years old from the medium low class, 46 years old from the medium high class, and 44 years old from the high class. With this can be inferred that it doesn't matter the class, the average of age is between 44 and 46 years old, and the older person were the less in this sample. Now we are gonna see the histogram of age with socioeconomic and the box plot of age with socioeconomic. So in the histogram, in the all four levels, the people between 27 and 45 were the most interviewed, and the older or younger were the minority, and the most frequently class were the medium low. And in the box plot, it can be observed that in the four classes there is some variability, and only in the medium, low, and high are two extreme data that are not in the group. So in conclusion, there are numerous important topics in Mexico. However, many Mexican people either do not care or do not concern about them. So that is why it's important to make the society awareness of this issue to provide individuals with better opportunities in the future. And finally, histograms and charts help this data more visually accessible and comprehensible, underscoring the importance of analyzing them to gain a more profound understanding of the subject matter. The bibliography is from the Instituto Nacional de Estadística y Geografía, INEGI,